Necessity window. We can perceive God's existence by looking through the window of necessity. All beings in the universe have needs, but none of them is capable of meeting their needs. But all their needs are met in one way or another. This means that there is a compassionate person at the back who meets the needs. For example, you enter a room, there is a baby in the room, the baby's diaper is clean, the belly is full, the place is clean, obviously someone is meeting the needs of this baby. Do I have to see this person to believe in his existence? No, I don't need to see this person to believe in his existence. Why? Because I saw his act there and all the needs of the baby were met? If the baby's needs are met, that means someone is meeting his needs, even if I don't see it with my own eyes. Now let's take this baby and make it a little bigger. What else in the world does that baby need? It needs milk, it needs sound for the ear to hear, it needs the sun for the eye to see, it needs the devotion of its mother. If you ask the baby what he needs, he can't answer, he doesn't have the consciousness or power to say his needs, but for some reason all his needs are met. When a baby is born, it has no teeth, only a palate. What does this mean? It means I can't eat meat, I have no teeth, I can't bite, but I can suck. God sends that baby a compassionate heart and a breast full of milk from a mother. What would happen if one of these wasn't there? For example, let's say the mother has milk but no compassion heart. Most likely she doesn't wake up at night to nurse her baby. Will the mother wake up? The mothers wake up several times during the night to nurse their babies. Well, a mother also has compassion heart, but she has no milk. What will happen? The mother will destroy herself. How am I going to feed my baby? If all the needs of that baby, who is weak and doesn't even know what he needs, are met as soon as he opens his eyes, it means that there is someone behind who is meeting all his needs. Let the baby reach adulthood. Can a person meet all his needs when he grows up? You need rain, sun, you need the 96,000 kilometers of arteries in your body to carry food and provisions. None of which can be done by humans. Each of these are things I can't afford, and they are met from somewhere, which means there is someone behind the scenes meeting those needs. For example, if the temperature exceeds 60 degrees, our life is out of the question. How can this millimetric calculations be so amazing every time? I wonder who does it. Do I have such a need to survive? Yes, I have. Is it fulfilled? It is fulfilled. So who knows these millimetric calculations and meets them? Now we need water too, right? The water evaporates, the cloud takes the water to different places, attaches it to the parachute, it descends from the head as if caressing our head. Imagine if it did. If they didn't break due to friction, they would hit us like bullets. Imagine, there would be no apricots, no peaches left, no people left, none of them will be left. They are in parachutes, they caress us and the leaves compassionately and come down. 16 million tons of water evaporates per second. If we were to get together and do this, let's evaporate this water, we would need 300,000 billion calories for this, or 4 times 10 to the power of 16 tons of coal to evaporate this water. These needs of mine are met. If I don't have the strength and power to meet these needs, it means that behind the scenes someone who knows me and has compassion for me will definitely meet my needs. Is it necessary to see Allah with eyes? No, why? Because I see him through his actions. We will see Allah from the window of necessity. All things, especially living things, have many different needs. For example, for the existence of an ant, water is necessary, soil is necessary, an ant needs as much as the world, a rose needs leaves, a honey needs a bee, milk needs a cow. The universe has various needs. For example, a person needs the night to rest. Some hormones that a person needs are secreted only in the darkness of the night. I need it physically as well as biologically. I need the night, but the night has come but has not gone. What shall I do? We can light up a place, our power is enough. How will you enlighten the whole world? The night has come and it does not disappear. Therefore not only the existence of this night is a grace, but also its quantity is also a grace. After that, we need the day very much for our activities, but the day has come and has not gone. In the night, there is a source for light, but in the daytime, there is no source for the night. How will you bring the night? All our needs are met. Are you aware of this? But whose hand is it that meets this? I wonder who is the person that meets this. He shows his existence from the perspective of necessity, and not only the existence of these blessings, but also their multitude is a blessing. For example, you are a very tall man. For example, you are 20 meters tall. No tailor can make clothes for you. You cannot live a comfortable life. So not only the length is a blessing, but also the amount of height is a blessing. For example, my eye can see, but the amount of vision is also adjusted. What if my eye could see as deep as bacteria? Could we drink water? It's not possible. We couldn't drink water with these kind of eyes. My ear hears a sound. Hearing is a blessing, but it is a blessing in proportion to its quantity. What if I heard the sound of the bacteria on the pillow? If I heard the sound of the rotation of these planets, I would be miserable. This means that my needs are not only met, but also met in quantity. In addition, needs are met from unexpected places. Among the public, we associate the word milk with the word clean. We say it is as clean as milk. The place where we don't expect milk to come out is dirt. Allah creates milk from the place we don't expect it to come out. It comes from between blood, feces, and the dirt. What is the message given to people here? He creates it from there so that you do not know it from dirt. Something as pure as milk comes from blood and feces. In other words, it comes out of dirt and reaches us. For example, if a teacher wants to write something on the blackboard, he uses white chalk because opposites show each other. God sends us something pure like milk, through blood and excrement, so that we know it cannot be from a cow. A cow that cannot lift its head off the ground gives us milk through blood and feces, and the only thing it eats is hay. Such a miraculous being as a cow has no mind, it acts unconsciously, and milk is given through an unconscious animal like a cow. Why? Because by giving these contrasts, Allah wants to remind himself of his servants who care about him. If someone were to say that my shirt is very nice and I was to say that it is a tailor, he has no hands or feet, he made it, you will say how can a tailor without hands or feet sew shirts? But silk comes from insects that have no hands or feet. Allah gives silk from insects that have no hands or feet. He says, I write on the blackboard with white chalk. Can silk come from an insect that has no hands or feet? Isn't this a miracle? That means that it is not from this insect. It tells us to look behind the curtain. Where does apple worm live, which is the most helpless creature? It is born in the food, lives in the food. Allah says I am the one who provides for your sustenance. The food that the most helpless beings need goes to their mouths. If a person believes in this, he will be saved from the rush of the world. Needs are met from unexpected places so that we know them from Allah. Needs are also given at an appropriate time, just when the need is felt. Just like the milk that a newborn baby needs is given from the mother's breast, mother's milk drops the moment the baby is born. What does this mean? How can this happen? Does the mother create that milk herself? It's not possible. How can the moment of the arrival of the baby and the moment of the arrival of the milk coincide with each other? There is a purpose to it. If you feed a baby kebab instead of milk, it will lead to death, right? A baby gets exactly what it needs with milk. We come into the world, and the food in the universe is just for us, fruit and vegetables. God meets our fine taste. We could live by eating only grass like animals or by eating the same food every day like a cat, but God has created humans differently. Therefore, we must not live like animals. If you go to another part of the world and eat a fruit you have never tasted before, you may like it very much. There are codes for the fruit you have never tasted on your tongue. There are codes in the unconscious tongue. If Allah knows me down to my best feelings, only He can meet all my needs. The only one who knows us enough to know our subtle needs is the one who created us. Look at yourself, oh man, how many things you need that you cannot reach. You also need feelings. You need to love, to be loved, to be afraid. If we did not need to love and be loved, we could not be friends. We couldn't be side by side. We couldn't be together. If there wasn't a feeling of fear, we couldn't survive. For example, I want to go down the stairs. I want to jump out of the window because I'm not afraid. I have no fear. Then I am miserable. If it were not for the feeling of fear, a person would not obey the laws and would not be able to live. If I were to have an iron deficiency, I went to a doctor, he would say, eat these and your iron deficiency will go away. Well, if these feelings of fear, of loving and being loved, are missing, which grocery store will I buy this from? Is it possible? Are these feelings my needs? Did we get what we needed? Did you find it on the road? Buy it from somewhere? Have you ordered it? It is none of them. Who gave them to us? Who meets my needs? Allah. Oh man, compare yourself with all living beings. The satisfaction of so many of your endless needs points to the existence of the one who meets them, just as the rays of the sun point to the existence of the sun. If one knows Allah well from the window of necessity, and if one can feel and live in the belief that she does not need anyone but Allah in this universe, Allah will not make him, her dependent on anyone else.